If you want longer stays in midterm rentals, this is something you need to understand. Longer stays don't come from better design. They don't come from trendy decor. They don't come from trying to impress people. Longer stays come from simplicity and function. And once you understand that, the entire game changes. A lot of hosts think the goal is to create something that looks good online. But midterm renters, especially nurses, aren't choosing a place the same way short-term guests do. They're not scrolling for inspiration. They're not comparing aesthetics. They're solving a problem. They need housing that works. So let's talk about why simple functional spaces naturally lead to longer stays. First, simplicity reduces friction. Every item in a house is something that can break, confuse, or frustrate a guest. Too much furniture makes the space feel crowded. Too much decor makes it harder to relax. Too many features create more things to maintain. When a space is simple, it's easier to live in. And when something is easy to live in, people don't want to leave. That's the first connection between simplicity and longer stays. Second, function supports routine. Travel nurses live on routines: early mornings, long shifts, odd hours, quiet recovery time. They don't want to figure out how a space works. They want to walk in, drop a bag, eat, shower, and rest. Functional spaces support that without effort. Clear walkways, comfortable seating, a bed that actually helps them sleep, a kitchen that's easy to use. When a space supports routine, it becomes comfortable fast. And comfort is what turns a short stay into an extended one. Third, simple spaces feel calmer. This part matters more than people realize. After a long shift, the nervous system is tired. Clutter creates mental noise. Busy design creates stimulation. Too much visual input creates stress. Simple spaces feel quiet even when they're not silent. Neutral colors, open space, minimal distractions. That calm feeling is what makes someone think, I could stay here longer. That's not an accident. That's intentional simplicity. Fourth, functional spaces reduce complaints, and fewer complaints often lead to longer stays. When a space is designed around use instead of looks, fewer things go wrong. Furniture is sturdy. Layouts make sense. Nothing feels fragile or precious. Guests don't feel like they're walking on eggshells. They feel comfortable. And when people feel comfortable, they extend. Fifth, simplicity builds trust. This is subtle but powerful. A clean, functional space signals reliability. It tells the guest this place is maintained, this place is stable, this place is predictable. For nurses, predictability matters. They already deal with enough uncertainty at work. They don't want surprises at home. Simple, functional setups communicate safety and stability. That trust makes it easier for them to commit to longer terms. 6, function ages better than style. Trends change, styles shift, design tastes evolve, but function stays relevant. A comfortable bed is always valuable. A quiet bedroom never goes out of style. A usable kitchen is always appreciated. When your space is built around function, it doesn't need constant updates. That consistency supports longer-term tenants who don't want change. They want stability. 7, simple spaces are easier to maintain, which benefits everyone. When maintenance is easier, issues get resolved faster. When issues are resolved faster, tenants are happier. When tenants are happy, they stay. Longer stays are not just about the guest experience. They're about the host experience too. A host who isn't overwhelmed is more responsive, calmer, and more consistent. And that shows. 8, simplicity makes extensions easy. When a space works well, the question shifts. Instead of asking, where else can I stay? Guests start asking, can I extend? That happens when the space fits their life without friction. Not because it's impressive, but because it works. Longer stays don't come from doing more. They come from doing less on purpose. Less furniture, less clutter, less overthinking. More comfort, more clarity, more function. That's the formula. If you're setting up or refining a midterm rental and your goal is longer stays, ask yourself this. Does this space make my life easier for someone who's tired? If the answer is yes, you're on the right track. If the answer is no, simplify. Because simplicity isn't boring, it's profitable, and it's sustainable. If this helped shift how you think about your setup, make sure you're subscribed so we can keep breaking this down in a way that actually works. And if you want help building a simple, functional midterm rental that attracts longer stays, click the link in the description. You don't need to impress people, you need to support them, and when you do that well, they stay.